The most dangerous person in the room is usually the one nobody is watching. He's not the loudest. He's not fighting for attention. He's not trying to prove he's smarter than everyone else. He's sitting back, calm, listening, observing. And while everyone else is busy talking, competing, and reacting, he's collecting information. He's measuring personalities. He's studying weaknesses. And when the moment comes to move, he moves with precision. That's why quiet people are more dangerous than most people realize. And today, we're breaking down exactly why. Before we go deeper, make sure you hit like and subscribe to Playing Possum. This channel is all about quiet power, smart strategy, and long-term dominance. If you want to learn how to win without noise, you're in the right place. Let's start with something simple. Loud people reveal themselves. They reveal their opinions, their emotions, their plans, their insecurities. The more someone talks, the more data they give away. And in any competitive environment, information is power. Quiet people don't give away much. They speak when necessary. They reveal little. That imbalance alone creates advantage. When you know more about someone than they know about you, you control more of the interaction. Most people underestimate quiet individuals. They assume silence means weakness. They assume silence means lack of confidence. But often, silence means control. It means the person is thinking instead of reacting. And reaction is expansive. When you react emotionally, you lose leverage. When you pause and think, you gain clarity. Quiet people often dominate because they don't waste energy trying to impress. They use energy to analyze. On Playing Possum, we talk a lot about perception. Perception shapes how others treat you. When someone appears loud and dominant, people prepare for conflict. They guard their words. They filter information. But when someone appears quiet and non-threatening, people relax. They speak freely. They underestimate the listener. And that's where the real advantage begins. Think about meetings at work. The loudest voice often gets attention at first. But attention creates pressure. People challenge them. Managers test them. Expectations rise. Now think about the quiet employee. He listens carefully. He watches group dynamics. He notices who has influence and who just talks. He notices where problems really exist. Then, at the right moment, he speaks clearly and directly. Because he hasn't been talking constantly, his words carry weight. People lean in. They listen. That's influence, built through restraint. Quiet people are dangerous because they are unpredictable. When someone talks constantly, you know what they think. You can predict their behavior. You can prepare for them. But when someone stays reserved, you don't fully understand their strategy. That uncertainty makes others uneasy. And uncertainty creates psychological advantage. There's also emotional control involved. Loud people often express frustration, excitement, anger, or insecurity openly. Quiet people tend to process emotions internally. It doesn't mean they don't feel deeply. It means they choose when and how to respond. In high-pressure situations, that control becomes powerful. When others panic, the calm person stands out. And calm decision-making wins in critical moments. Another reason quiet people are dangerous is because they observe patterns. While others are busy speaking, they're noticing body language, tone shifts, alliances, power structures. They pick up on subtle changes most people miss. Over time, those small observations build a clear map of the environment. And when you understand the environment deeply, your moves become smarter. Let's talk about ego. Many people feel uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it. They think silence makes them look awkward or unprepared, so they talk more than necessary. But silence is not weakness. Silence is space. And in that space, other people reveal themselves. If you stay quiet long enough, most people will start explaining more than they planned. They will expose their motivations. They will clarify their limits. All because they feel the need to fill the silence. Quiet people also build mystery. Mystery creates curiosity. Curiosity creates attention. When someone doesn't constantly advertise their strengths, others start wondering. They start observing more carefully. And when that quiet person finally speaks or acts decisively, the impact feels stronger because it wasn't overused. Now let's connect this to long-term success. Loud success often attracts fast competition. When you announce your goals, your plans, your strategies, publicly, people prepare to compete with you. They copy, they challenge, they block. But when you move quietly, improving behind the scenes, building skills privately, you create momentum without interference. By the time others realize your growth, you're already ahead. Quiet people are also more strategic with relationships. Because they listen more than they speak, they understand what others value. They understand fears, ambitions, insecurities, and that knowledge helps them communicate more effectively. Influence is not about talking the most. It's about saying the right thing at the right time, and that requires listening first. There's a big difference between being quiet and being passive. Quiet is intentional. Passive is weak. Quiet people can be extremely assertive when necessary. The difference is, they choose their moments. They don't waste strength on unnecessary battles. They don't argue for ego. They conserve energy for important moves. In competitive environments like business or leadership, This restraint becomes a major advantage. If you show full strength immediately, people adjust. They prepare defenses, they create resistance, but if you reveal strength gradually, strategically, people are often caught off guard. Surprise multiplies impact. Another factor is self-awareness. Quiet individuals often spend more time reflecting. Reflection builds clarity. Clarity improves decisions. When you understand your own strengths and weaknesses deeply, you don't need external validation. You don't need to prove yourself constantly. That inner stability makes you harder to manipulate. Loud personalities can be influenced by praise or criticism quickly because they operate externally. Quiet personalities often operate internally. They evaluate feedback calmly. They don't swing emotionally with every comment. This stability makes them dangerous in negotiations and conflict. Let's consider conflict. When someone attacks loudly, expecting a loud reaction, and the quiet person responds calmly and measured, the dynamic shifts. The aggressor may feel unsettled. They prepared for chaos. They didn't prepare for composure, and composure can neutralize aggression faster than force. Quiet people also tend to think long-term. Because they're not constantly seeking attention, they're not chasing short-term validation, they're building slowly, and slow growth is often more stable than fast spikes. Stability wins in the long run. On Playing Possum, the philosophy is simple. You don't need to announce your strength. You don't need to dominate every room. Sometimes the smartest move is to blend in, to observe, to let others underestimate you. Underestimation gives you freedom. Freedom to build without pressure. Ask yourself this. When you walk into a room, are you trying to be heard immediately? Are you trying to prove something? Or are you studying the environment first? Small adjustments in behavior can completely change your outcomes. Quiet people are dangerous because they are patient. Patience allows timing, and timing creates leverage. The person who speaks first often loses power. The person who waits often gains clarity. Clarity leads to better decisions. Better decisions compound over time. And here's something deeper. When you don't constantly talk about your goals, you protect them. Not everyone needs to know your plans. Not everyone deserves access to your strategy. Silence protects vision. It prevents unnecessary opinions from influencing you. Eventually, there will be moments when the quiet person must step forward fully. A presentation, a negotiation, a leadership decision, and because they haven't been speaking constantly, their words carry weight. Authority feels natural, influence feels earned. If this message resonates with you, comment below and tell me if you see yourself as the quiet observer or the loud competitor. Share this video with someone who needs to understand that silence is not weakness. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Playing Possum for more insights on quiet dominance, emotional control, and strategic thinking. Remember this: noise gets attention, silence builds power, and the person who masters silence often controls more than anyone realizes. Quiet people aren't weak, they're watching, they're learning, and when they decide to move, it's usually already too late for everyone else.